so dark. All right. Hoping you'd. I've been away for a couple days. I was at a good friend's wedding, so I was just showing some older paintings. But today I'm going to continue with this one, and it's kind of like a bit of a Monet. I mean, there's some sort of idea of a water lilies here in water, and Cheryl's bench is still here, is over in the corner. And I kind of made this splotch, gray splotch. Now, while I was away reading, I was reading a little bit about Socrates' allegory of the cave, and I thought what I thought I would do is put this area here. Is I'm going to put the cave here. So for those who don't know the story of Socrates' allegory of the cave, it's a metaphor for the human condition and learning and understanding our own reality. And it's kind of a trippy little setup. So you have to imagine that there's going to be some people here chained, right, in a line. And behind them is a fire. And one version of the allegory has them holding these. There are these symbols that are casting shadows. And now the people are looking at the wall and the shadows. Because they're chained there forever, they think that's reality, right? And then the idea is behind the opening of the cave is a sun, which is also casting shadows. And the philosopher is someone who's broken free from the chains and can see that outside in the world, here, there's a sun, and what the people inside were seeing is just an illusion of reality. And where it gets a little trippy is that the idea is that the people who are chained to the wall looking at the illusion of the shadows are perfectly content because they're there. But what happens is the philosopher, like Socrates, and I guess by extension Aristotle to some degree, right? There, the philosophers out roaming the world, and then they see the sun. And where it gets mind trippy is then the realization that maybe the sun is just casting an illusion and creating this world. And then the world outside here is just an illusion. Anyhow, so that's kind of where I think I might take this thing. I might take this thing where we have kind of like my own version of Monet's water lilies, keeping the chair, just because it was part of the painting. I think it works well here. And then start painting in the figures looking at a shadow cast on the wall with the fire. Maybe. That's kind of like Socrates. Yes, as some might call him Socrates. So, I've only had coffee number 2. I'm not really pumped. I don't know what direction I'm going to go in. All I know is I got a whole bunch of clean brushes. Look at these nice clean brushes. I got clean water. Now I got to get into this. I'm not quite sure what I'll do first. Should I work on water lilies stuff to make the pretty landscape? And I probably have to make a sun here. Like, to make the allegory true, there has to be a sun, right? It's got to be a fire within the cave. And this was I think what happened here is last time I was painting, I was trying some browns that just looked like shit. So I washed it away and left this mark. And then yesterday, just before I was boarding the plane, I was reading this book by this guy named Leo Zagami, and he was talking about like the allegory of the cave, and it reminded me about that. And I thought that would be pretty cool to incorporate that in there. So maybe I'll draw in the figures or the that kind of environment. Here, I need a palette. Let's use this tiny palette for now. Actually, this thing's a piece of crap. Need a new one. Okay. I guess got this other little paper plate, and I'm gonna First color pick is this kind of purpley turquoise. And I'm not sure how close you need to get to this thing. I mean, I really don't know how I'm going to present this. So I'm going to make it so that like we're looking down into the cave. So let's just say like maybe the figures are here. Then there's like the wall, right? And there's a fire. So here, maybe the fire is here. And then over here is the shapes being cast. That's the illusion. And there should be like a hard edge to make it seem like a... Am I in the way? No? There's a hard edge to... I need some water. There'll be like a... come on, baby. Come on, baby. I'm talking to my... Hey, where are you from? Nepal. Ah, that's cool. Wait, Nepal? Rabi? Actually, I thought I was thinking Nepal, but that's Nepal Ravis. I have no idea. Where's Nepal Ravi? What country is that? Can I guess Saudi Arabia? Just because the writing looks like... What the fuck do I know? Okay. Alright, so here's the cave. The opening's got to be here. And then the people. Let me just draw little people. You know, they're chained together, which is super freaky. The fire actually should be back here, but let's just say that the floor is like this of the cave, whatever. Who cares, right? And it's a cave, so it's all bumpy. Anyhow, point is, there's our cave, and yeah. Hey, from Louisiana. That's cool. We got Louisiana. We have someone who's speaking Gusto Menso dos Cuatros Dele. I'm gonna guess that's Spanish. We may have Mexico or Spain here today. From Bina Ferreria. Okay, so this bench might be kind of big. Oh, you know what? Who gives a shit about the size, right? Because this is all just for fun. Yeah, Cheryl, you gotta smarten up, man. Read the cave allegory by Socrates. They're chained up. That's the whole analogy. That's the idea that they don't realize that the people don't realize they're in bondage. That's the whole point. The people that are chained up are meant to represent us, our society, and that only those enlightened ones, those philosophers like Socrates. I'm doing that for your benefit. Okay, enough talking. Let's do some water lily action. Okay, so water lilies. Let me move this thing back. Let's go do some water lilies. Water lilies, water lilies. Let's go do some water lilies. Let's continue with this brush. So we have a couple. I want to see the video. What does that mean? Oh, someone's messengering me on Messenger. Someone I just have to quickly say hello to quickly. Real quick. Okay. I'm live streaming now. Smiley face. Boink. Alright. Let's do this. Monet water lilies. Now, this is going to be like weird ones because these are pretty damn big. Like there's also those flowers. I forget what they're called. Lotuses? Let's just do like an outline of a lotus. Let's just say it's like that. I kind of think they have like Don't they have like little parts on the bottom? I kind of recall something like that. And the petals kind of come out, whatever. Oh yeah. Stop texting me. What else? Okay, so they can become fat and round near the bottom, right? But as they get higher, that's a kind of a big water lily. I mean, a lotus flower. Let's put another lotus flower over here. Oh, that's the kind of color. Where did that come from? Maybe from here? Yeah. So here's another little lotus flower here. They're pink, I think. They're pink or white or something. I'm not really quite sure. And then maybe, they sort of become more horizontal as they become higher up and become smaller. So, probably up here they're tiny. If this is the bench, if this is our bench, I think it should be curved. I want to curve the bench. Sort of kind of reminds you of the bridge of Monet's bridge. Remember? And it's also more aesthetically pleasing because that's so important these days. Right, so I can't remember if the water lilies are pink or white or whatever, but we're just going to make up our own then. And then the water lilies, yeah, let's make some larger ones here. Don't they have like this sort of dent in them? And I think like underwater they have, because I remember seeing water lilies in real life up at the cottage. They weren't as pretty as these ones. They were green, but I think they had like these roots that kind of went down, and maybe that's where Monet came up with all those. If you ever look at his paintings, he has lots of vertical lines and stuff, and that might just be reflections from shit across the top. I don't know. So let's just do some more of these. Maybe we'll do. I need some weight. And over on this side, I don't even know what's going to happen over here. Right now, it's just kind of an ugly mess. I've got a cup of coffee right here. I keep on about to dip my brush in the coffee. I never said it was smart. I only said it was good looking. Okay. What am I doing? See, I can see the composition on my monitor so much better than when I'm here. The problem is I'm getting glare from my spotlight, so I can't quite see it. Okay, let's just go over and let's do a series of like little water lilies over here. And maybe I don't want to do it. Maybe so I got a choice here. Oh yeah, you can't see it either. Your whole thing is very. The lighting is so strong. Anyhow, what I'm thinking about doing in the back here. I'm not sure if I should continue with this curve here or have the water go right across. One thought is I could bring down some of those creepy crawly green things. Let's call it Monet's drippy green stuff. You know what I'm talking about? There's some green, and he sort of drips these green things down. I think I need some more white. Alright, so I'm just babbling, not really talking about anything important. The other thing is the color scheme right now. I gotta figure out. Okay, so this is a loss of my white. I must get more white. Okay, white, and ooh, this is a nice blue. I'm just gonna pick it up because I like it, and I like Some of Monet's. Where's a brush? I need a brush. I like some of Monet's where he starts off with his very sort of deep blues on the bottom, and he does it between, like he does it between the water lilies. Yeah, so maybe I'll just come down here and do my own like abstract version of it. You know what I'm talking about? Even darker than that. And then, what the hell is over here? Is this just a horizon? Should I? Okay, I could just... Okay, composition-wise, I could do a couple of things. I could bring it so that the horizon continues right across here. And then this here is like the top, and this here... Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'll just... Let's do a couple... Yeah, I think I know what I want to do. I want to make them more abstracted water lilies. I saw this guy. I think his name is Lister, and he did something that I really wanted to do, but he did it first. He went and took a whole bunch of Van Gogh's still life like flowers, and he kind of smashed them up. Like, it was very well done. It wasn't in a cheap way. Normally, I would say it's cheap. So, is it Anthony Lister or something Lister? I found him on Instagram, and I only want to follow a few people on Instagram because it's too much shit everywhere, too much to look at. So, I think his show was in California, and they were very nicely done. It's sort of like not quite with the mastery of Van Gogh, but he was getting close. But it was almost like they were shattered. So I'm kind of doing something similar where I'm taking the essence of Monet's water lilies, sort of like the colors and the somewhat shapes, and I'm not trying to do a Monet water lilies because if I was, I wouldn't do this composition. I would take way more care in trying to make them look like water lilies. I would do pre-sketches for stuff, but what I'm trying to do is make more of a blend of a Chagall. Yeah. So this is a Chagall blend with some Monet. And yeah, there you go. That's it. I don't have to say any more. So I'm going to try some softer, wispier movements like that. Like Chagall, Monet would do these nice colors and then would do these wispy kind of outlines around it. This is too thick to do it. He would take a green. Here, let me try it. I'll show you what I'm talking about. He would take a green. Oh, fuck balls. A green that was darker than the one I just had, and he would like, you know, do his water lily. I think my dream would come true to be like a modern day Monet, in that he had a really nice life. Like, I think he had like a beautiful estate, and he had a family with dogs, and like I want that kind of like I enjoy that middle class kind of lifestyle. But he got to paint every day. Didn't have to wear a suit. Oh, I wore a suit for like the first time in years and years and years for my friend's wedding. I had one. I didn't even have a suit that fit, so I had to go get one made just to wear for 3 hours. And I hope I don't have to wear that suit again for many years. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what these little marks are. It was actually a very, very nice wedding. It was almost like a fairy tale situation. It's one of my closest friends. Met a girl who lives in the Philippines. And, you know, it was like one of those it took a long time for them to get together, obviously. But eventually she was able to move here. I'm not going to say any names or anything, just because, you know, it's private. But he has 2 beautiful girls, 2 daughters who are just awesome. And we usually go away to myself, him and my other best friend and all the kids, all the single dads. We were all single dads until they met, and we used to rent a cottage and all go up together and stuff. But she's now part of our family, and it was just a really nice wedding. And it was yesterday, and I like the fact it wasn't big either. I like the fact he kept it small. That was, I think it made it better and more meaningful. And normally I hate flying, but it wasn't a long flight. Thank goodness. So Monet used a greeny yellow. Let's see if I can try to figure it out. More green, I think. Yeah, I don't know why. See, I've got a blue, a green, white, and some yellow. I'm just gonna play with it. I'm just gonna play with it. Like, who cares if it's not like exactly what Monet did? That's not the point. The point is, I'm just gonna do my own things, my own creations of. Because I do like this story, the allegory. It's a pretty cool story, you know. It's almost like seems too advanced for its time, but only because it's a meta philosophy, right? It's like a matrix. These are the people stuck in the matrix, and then the people outside are like Neo, who are aware that these people are stuck in a matrix. And then the irony is that maybe you're still in a simulation because all this could be not even real, just another unreality. Yeah, because a lot of theoretical physicists believe that, you know, we live in a kind of simulation, a projection. I think that time-space can be, analogy is like a projection. If you think about time and space is the surface of a balloon, and gravity is when you put your finger and it bends time and space. That's a very good analogy for us to understand, like, another dimension. One of my favorite topics. Oh, so one cool thing about my friend's daughter, who's 14, she wants to be an astrophysicist, which is wicked. So I'm going to send her a bunch of information. Like, I follow the Perimeter Institute. I follow MIT's, is it Astrolab? I forget. Also, U of T has a really good Astrolab, which allows you to meet up with the people, and you can like just geek out on stuff. Eventually, I think you can also use some of the, they've got an observatory. I thought that was very cool. My friend is also pretty much a genius, so it's not surprising that his kid is very smart too. I would say that my few close friends are definitely in the genius area, and I think it comes from the nature of what we do. Like, we make video games, and it's not to say all people in video games are geniuses, but there is a strong correlation because you have to be very much at the top of your field to make high-end video games. Like, if you were going to be an artist, you have to be top. Like, some of the best artists in the world are video game artists. Hard to know. Maybe you don't know that. Mathematicians, people who work in different areas of computers. Like, it could be physics simulations, for example. It's very big in video games. AI, although we use a lot of tricks for AI, but it could be networking, tools, software tool development. So it's no wonder. My point is that some of my best friends, my closest friends who are video games are very, let's just say, very high IQ and fun to talk to. And actually, you know what? I kind of miss an old friend of mine. He was one of the world's foremost scientists for the conch shell, and he lives in Turks and Caicos now. So obviously I don't see him. but he was like also kind of a nerdy dude. He was into alternative music. He looked hardcore. He has these huge fucking eyes because he's part German, part German, part Egyptian. So he has this fiery personality because he also has these glasses that make his eyes even bigger. So he looks like he's with black goatee and stuff. And the last thing you think of him is a scientist, but it turns out, you know, he just loves biology and like everything under the water, and he lives underwater basically. He lives on a. Last time I talked to him, he was like on some sort of like floating shack in the floating shack in the beaches of Turks and Caicos, and he just, yeah, and that's why I always loved talking to him because he always had cool things I could learn about. Like I love biology and marine biology is really neat. It's not something I ever like obsessed over, but like when someone has a passion for something and they know what the fuck they're talking about, it's worth perking up your ears to have a listen, because they've spent a great deal of time learning about it, and you can learn some really interesting things too. Okay, all right, where are we at now? Wow, this looks much better than the screen, by the way. The colors are so much more vibrant and beautiful than on the screen. I wonder if I can adjust it. I have software here that allows me to tweak it a bit. Let me just do this 1 second. Let's try color intensity, bring you up from 50 to 55%. Nope, it's definitely richer. Maybe we'll bring it up to, let's say, 58%. Nope. It's still richer here. Anyhow, maybe if I move it and the light changes, I don't know. Okay, let's play with this. Let's play with this cave a bit. Let's get some fire going on in here. New brush. And again, I'm just making this up as I go. I don't know how to best represent it. Like, is a cave brown or is it gray? What color is this? Okay, I'm gonna take these two colors, and they're making a freaky green, which it's not right. Okay, starting with brown. Maybe I'll continue with brown. I don't actually have a gray or a black color. I thought I did buy black once. I just try to avoid black. I don't know why. There's nothing wrong with black. So this is a dark brown. Okay. I gotta remember. So here are the people. And I'm not even, are they going to be cross-legged? Are they sitting down? What are they? I'm going to make it vague so you can't even really tell. Here. First I'm going to outline them in maybe a bit more detail. Get up there, baby. Right? So they're, and I don't know where the chains are. All right, so here are the people. Oh, what's your head doing up there? You're chained. You're not allowed to. Okay, so you got a bunch of people here sitting here. And then over, right, so there's going to be all these shadows cast. Now I know sometimes they're like symbols or something. They're like, I got to go back and read more about it, but maybe they're symbols and like horses and shit and all kinds of weird stuff being projected on the wall. But let's just get some color back in here. Oh, fart balls. Yellow. The reason why I guess I picked yellow is because it's meant to be, this is the brightness. The fire. This is the light being cast from the fire. And I wonder, they might even have shadows too, right? Okay, want to do negative space. I need that brown. Yes, I know I'm just babbling. I know I'm just talking to myself. That's just part of what happens here. Okay, so if they're here, there's supposed to be a fire, right? And the fire is going to cast light. So the ground, oops, I really fucked that up, didn't I? The ground is going to be here. This is the ground. All around here. Let me just give me a sec here. I'm painting the ground. Maybe even make it darker. So you can see there's a wall underground. Okay, there's the characters, the dudes, there's the people chained up, suckers. And then the light. I think I need some yellow. So I think you get like orange and yellow, yeah. So I'm gonna hopefully I can get some orange out of this thing. Let's just go deep in here and damn it. Let's see if I can rip it. Yeah. Somebody's messaged me, but I can't check. You can hear that. What's that called? Facebook Messenger thing. You know what's kind of stupid about the Facebook Messenger? When you have a business Facebook Messenger, they time you how quickly you respond to these things, and they give you, it's like this Pavlovian thing where your rating goes down if you don't respond quickly enough, so you feel like you have to respond. It's such a pain in the ass. Like people will like message me at like 3 in the morning, and I'm like, I don't want to talk. I want to sleep. Okay, so what is that? Okay, there's a bit of color. Okay, so I don't know what I'm doing really. Like maybe this is the light. I'm just doing negative space. Like, do I do shadows for the people? Maybe the people cast shadows, not just the symbols. Anyhow, so let's bring this across. And then the fire. What is the fire going to be? Isn't it like a basket or something? Okay, my fire is going to be in a basket. I don't care if that's not accurate. At least it'll be something. So it'll be in this basket thing, whatever it is. I don't even know. But it'll be a fire. Okay, there's your fire. Going to be casting light. And then I think... Doesn't the cave come low? So that there's like just a bit of ambient light coming in from here? I think that's how it works. I think that's how the main interpretation of the cave is that there's supposed to be like ambient light from the sun. So maybe I should make it more like the cave like this. Make some rock shapes inside here. Make a wall. Now I gotta figure out, I like the green splotchy things I was doing before from that garden, what's it called? Sandy's Garden of Scalia. And I kind of, let me just sort of, if I can reproduce it. I have these kind of, right now there's like spotches
of color, but they turned out really nice before. I'll blend them together and stuff. That might make something like, who knows.
Okay, my hands are covered. I'm gonna wash my hands in a second. Okay, I'm back. All right. Hands clean. Paintbrush. These two are pretty good. What do I feel like doing? Oh yeah. A little bit of fire. A little bit of fire. So this will be the flames coming out of here. And I have a white palette here. So these will be the flames. I'm gonna add some, yeah, I need to add some orange. Let's try this. I think I better go and study how to make a fire because it's not, it looks like some horrible pink weird mess. But it's meant to be symbolic, so maybe I'll just make it like symbolic fire, you know? Who cares if it doesn't look real? Can I get color out of here? A little bit of orange. Whatever. Okay, so here's the casting of the shadows. I think, where's the white? I should probably make it more dramatic, right? Oh yeah, and there's supposed to be the things sticking up behind the people that create the shadows. That's what I forgot. Doi. Okay, so I gotta go and create some things that represent the shadows. So, oh man, maybe the back of their heads should be lit up a bit too, right? Forgetting all kinds of stuff. So this technically part of the, it's too bright. I mean, this whole section should be pretty bright because that's closer to where the wall is. So should this. So the back of their heads are going to be like all lit up, right? Right now it's all garbagey looking. I understand. It doesn't look like anything. I'll figure it out in a minute. I suppose there would be also some hard shadows in the cave, right? Because the light. Let's just make up some like cave-like rocks and stuff. So maybe
maybe over here it's not as bright. Let me warm it up with some yellows. Where's that orange? Orange are broken in half. Oh, it's turning into some fucked up green. What about this color? What are you? Seems like something I could use. A bit of white. Let's just see what kind of color. It's too light. Too dark, I mean. I don't like that color. The nail. I gotta like, let's just go like this for now. Let's just go like this for now. It really needs warmed up colors. Let's just put some red right on there. That'll warm it up. Because what I want is more of a brown. I don't want green inside. What I want to do is I want to have the red kind of rocky interior contrasting the green outside. So I'm literally putting red directly on here to make it more brown. And I'll come back later and fix all this stuff up. Oops. Yeah, like even the shadow should be kind of red. That might be a good idea. Create a sense of something. Okay, so what I still have to do is I still have to make symbols behind the people. And then something around this whole exterior to make it cave-like. Make it like Nazareth. The fire looks real? Really? I don't know, man. Cheryl, I think you gotta get your eyes checked. Looks like a 4-year-old did it. I'm just screwing with you. Let me go back here, and then lower it down a bit. Okay, cool. All right, we're getting somewhere. So we're gonna go in, and we're gonna do some more of those patches. Patches is something. Mystery patches of tree sort of vines on the exterior. Paintbrush. Oh yeah, here's the right paintbrush. I think I noticed I like having something in my hand when I paint. It's comforting. Ooh, look at that. So I said I wanted green, so I think I need to put more greens. So let me grab some of this yellow stuff. Here's the I don't know, maybe there's like a little bright, oh, what the hell's that? A little brightness to the beginning of the cave, like as if it's somehow can be discovered. Maybe I should have like more rocks and stuff on the outside too, so it's not just like, well, this is kind of interesting. Do I make it? Step back. See, this is, to me, starting to feel Chagall-like. You know where he just has stuff floating in the middle of nowhere? That's what I like about Chagall's work. Doesn't even make sense. Okay. So what I need to do...
Like, did they have? Yeah, they had symbols. Like, I think I know what I'm doing wrong. There was like right behind the dudettes, the peeps. There was like a wall, and on the wall were the symbols of weird things. You know, like the circle, the goat, whatever the fuck it was. I don't know. Goat. Here, I'll put little horns on it. And this thing I'll make it, some sort of other weird shape. So I'm going to have to go and really refine it because it looks like crap right now. No one's going to get that. All right, so let's go have some fun somewhere else right now. Let's go. And maybe their bodies cast shadows. Okay, so I'm gonna have to really go back and do this. So the idea is this. You know what it kind of feels like? Nirvana. You know, like Valhalla. You know, the Viking afterlife. Like maybe this is meant to represent Valhalla. So like truth and I don't know where I'm going. I'm just sort of shitting. I'm talking loud here, but there's something about this kind of sky, which feels very Nordic and powerful. And I think if I was in another life, I would have been some kind of Viking, land-faring Viking. I wouldn't go in the ocean. I don't like the ocean. I like to be on solid ground. So I wonder if this is kind of like a Valhalla of some kind, the exterior. So what I think I need to do, okay, what am I going to do over here? What to do this area? And look how giant this goddamn park bench is. I'm going to have to make it smaller. I'm going to make it smaller. It's too big. Das bench is too big. There, I'm going to make it smaller. Alright. Now, the question I have for you is was? Was ist das? Was ist das hier? I think I must speak in the German accent because I was thinking about my half German friend. He's half German, half Egyptian. So he was both hot and cold at the same time. His Egyptian side was very hot-tempered, like his father, and his mother, very nice, but very stoic. So true, man. His dad was hot-tempered. It was the best way to describe him, and his mom was like this, like stereotypical German as far as I know. She was very calm, very analytical. She was very, very kind, but far less emotion. What a mix. I've done a whole bunch of drawings and paintings of my buddy, and I could show them sometime. They would have been from around, I want to say the late 90s probably, is when we were hanging out a lot. He introduced me to all kinds of music. He introduced me to the. He introduced me to Tool. That's my dog's tail wagging. So cute. She's having a happy dream. Her tail's just wagging. Bonk, 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 bonk. I don't want to turn the camera around just because too much of I don't want to show too much. Nugget. You having a happy dream? Oh, that's cute. So cute. Alright, so now I must think about what I'm going to do with... Now what I'm going to do with this side over here. Not quite sure. Do I blast it out? I have to stand back. I'm gonna have to move the canvas way back so you can see the whole thing better. Okay. You know what might be kind of nice? Maybe it's not just a hard curve here. Or is it a hard curve there? See what I mean? It's like, and if it is a hard curve, what the fuck is all this stuff? I kind of like the curve because this is so unusual. Right up here, this is just so strange and unusual. But maybe that's what I need to do. Yikes. Maybe that's what I need to do. Is keep it what would it be? What would it be? What could this be? A part of me is just going to start doing this. Yeah, part of me just wants to just fuck it. Do this. Definitely need some more green. I suddenly don't want to paint anymore. I suddenly have a feeling just to walk away. So they have a feeling to like work on another painting. I might walk away from this painting. Oh, it's because I'm not getting my endorphin kick. That's the problem. I've been waiting for my endorphin kick to come in and it hasn't happened. So I'm not getting my fix. I sometimes get these like rushes of like dopamine, like some sort of addict. And right now I feel like I have more of a headache than anything else. But the good news is the ringing is quite quiet right now, so I really shouldn't complain too much. It's kind of interesting. Do some more of that over here. It's a strange metaphor of land. I'm going to continue. Ooh, what the hell is that? I don't know. I don't like it. I need the blue and I need the green, yellow to make this. Make my Gershwin Iskowitz blotch colors. For someone who has never been that crazy about abstract painting, like pure abstract painting, for some reason, Gershwin Iskowitz has appealed to me. And I think it's because there's something about it that I think the stuff he's known for, he did when he was really old. Like, I could be wrong about this, but I think it was really starting to come into his own when he was like 70 or something. And it sort of validated things to me a little bit. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it. But there's something about, it's like, okay, once you're that age, you're allowed to, like, you've made it that far, man. You made it through the Holocaust, you know, and then you choose to paint these shapes. What is it? Oh, I just had a flashback. Someone needs to verify it. I believe he said he wasn't abstract painting. He said he was doing representational paintings when he was flying over like the prairies in Canada, looking at like herds of animals or something. I gotta verify that. I mean, I think I read this like 20 years ago, and I thought, come on, dude, there's no way. And I was thinking, okay, maybe your eyes are going so bad because there literally are splotches of color and shapes. But I gotta check that out because that's like one of those like weird memories that just crept out of my head that I haven't thought about in so many years. Okay, so someone put on a to-do list. Verify, look up Gershwin Iskowitz, and his style is like that down there. If you can see it, lots of white with these interesting colors of like reds and blues and stuff. And he claimed, I believe, that he was not an abstract painter, which is kind of ridiculous because it is completely abstract. That's something that stuck in my mind. God, I hope I got it right. Maybe it's some completely different person. I gotta look it up. No one's gonna do that. Okay. Iskowitz. I'm just gonna look up Iskowitz. Yeah, Gershon Iskowitz. There it is. Was a Canadian Jewish. Was an artist of Jewish origin from Poland. Iskowitz was a Holocaust survivor. Liberated. He began as a creative expressional painter who dealt with figurative subjects. Later, he painted in the abstract expressionist style, inspired by the Canadian landscape. Holy fuck! Look at that. Where is it? So he stopped painting scenes from his past in the mid-50s, turned to the Canadian landscapes for his models. Major changes in his painting style occurred in 1967 when a Canada Council grant permitted him to view the northern landscape from a helicopter. His paintings became explosions of color and light. That's what it was. Huh. So, yeah, there's no deeper meaning, but I just thought that was really, really cool that he was given a grant. The Canadian government gave him a grant to fly in a helicopter over somewhere like Alberta or something really boring, and his paintings were meant to be representational landscapes, even though it's for sure it's abstract. I mean, come on, Gershon, you're not fooling me. He's probably laughing his ass off in a helicopter, going, "I'm gonna paint the landscapes there. I'm gonna tell them." It's all this is a landscape. Dude, you're not fooling me. I love you, buddy. But that's bullshit. I'm calling bullshit out on you, even though you're dead. When did you die? He died in '88. Still calling it bullshit. Those aren't landscapes. Those are some maybe inspired by landscapes. I get it, but they're not actual landscapes. You just got a free helicopter ride from the Canadian government, and you fucking had to do some painting, and you had some fun with it. That's what you should say. Is I got a helicopter ride. It was a hell of a lot of fun. The land look. This is how I'm interpreting it. I don't know. I just think people when talk about art, especially artists, they're so full of shit. They just make it sound like it's more important than what it really is. What all we really are doing is just throwing down some scribbles. No more important than anything else. Once in a while, there'll be something that somebody does that's kind of awe-inspiring. when the nature of what it is what's important, what has the value. Kind of like Monet's water lilies, you know. There's something naturally attracts me to it, and I can see beauty in it. And I'm kind of I'm kind of doing it a bit, but not really. Just this little outline is all you need to do to think of his stuff. I think I'm going to leave this stuff just weird and open over here. You know, maybe I'm not going to make it more representational so you can see the bench any more clearly. I love doing this. This is fun, man. This is awesome. Okay, I kind of did say I liked it when it was blue, the dark blue. Let me just add some of that dark blue. See what happens when I go over here with this dark blue, purplish stuff. Come in here with this intense. I like it. I like doing that. Look at that. It probably needs wider areas of this blue for it to work, but I'm just gonna keep it a little wilder, you know. Maybe I'll bring some of that blue over here. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at the color. Oh, that's beautiful. That color is beautiful. This is like when this color mixes with the whatever it was in here, just came up something really nice. I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is I'm trying to mimic it over here. Put some thickness in the paint. Why don't I just go over here and just add some thickness? Do this. Because I already have like some very visible lines from the palette knife. So I'm going to mix those visible lines with thick brush strokes of stuff that's going to come and try to sparkle through. And bring some sparkle across here. Right? Let's do that. Maybe I'll bring some more of that sparkle up over here. Damn. Look at it if I just go like that. I think, that's nice. That's nice. I think I need to do some more of that with this color. That is such a beautiful blue, this cobalt blue, whatever. I believe it's cobalt blue. It's just so nice. Let me just put some more over here. So the horizontal lines create a sense of calmness. And I don't even know what this madness of color over here is. I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave this strange, weird. What if I added some of this blue down here? Yeah, let's do that. Let's bring some of those. Some of these lines. Oh, that looks nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Look at that. It's very subtle, but it's nice. I like it. I think I'm going to do some of that over here. It's almost like some sort of tree, some sort of Garden of Eden. You know, that's what I'm always trying to go for, is like, what's that, you know, not religious, but a Garden of Eden kind of environment, magical environment, the opposite of Disney, not like hokey bullshit, you know, sell some fucking t-shirts magic. I'm talking about more like like real romantic human magic. kind of like what it was like at the wedding yesterday. There was some beautiful, like you could just, my buddy and his fiance, they love each other, and it was just nice to. That was real romance, man. That was a romantic afternoon. Good for them. Good for them. Okay, so yeah, let's just stop right now. What time is it? I feel like taking a break. How long has it been going for? 1 hour and 19 minutes. Okay. So we got some progress. We got some things happening here. We got our little Soak Cave still needs some work for it to look like something. Valhalla lights. We got the Garden of Eden bench area. We got some sort of weird stuff happening here. We got my own kind of water lilies, my own version of water lilies down here. And I should always do this, I guess. I've done this I haven't done this enough so people can't see how big the paintings are. These paintings are actually pretty big. Let me just, a lot of my paintings are 4 feet by 6 feet. Some are 4 feet by 7, and there's even some 4 feet by 8 feet. So this gives you an idea how big it is. Okay. See ya.